Hi everyone, today I'm doing a quick video to share our minimalist homeschool space. We really have been working towards living a more minimalist lifestyle, and that applies to our homeschooling as well. One of the main reasons why we decided to homeschool is so that our kids get to spend more time doing the things that they really love and are interested in. So, just going with our philosophy, it was really important to create a space that was relaxing, inviting, and engaging. I thought I'll start off with a quick view of the schoolroom first and then go over the things that really work for us in this space. So, starting from the entrance, on this wall we have the clock, activity shelf for the kids, and we usually put the diffuser there as well. Our magnetic chalkboard about that, whiteboard, then the magnetic world map. Then on this wall we have most of our books. Then in this corner I have a paper basket, 2 calendars. One of them is a magnetic calendar. I use this with my kids for teaching purposes. And this here is the one that my son created. He did one for I Start Mathematics and we really loved that idea, so now we make one every year. Underneath those we have a blue cabinet from IKEA. I keep all of my son's curricula separated by subjects in this. It's quite handy and it's much neater as well and helps us keep things organized. Next we have the table where we do all the schoolwork. It's a kids table. We shorten the legs on my chair so I can sit with the kids and we can all be together at the same level. Then we have a couch. We really love that this is quite a deep couch because we can really snuggle up and read and play, and the kids love having this in the schoolroom. This did come with legs, but we never put those on, so it sits low, which makes it less dangerous for the kids. So that's just a quick view. Now, just to go over a few things. This clock is really awesome, and I used it to teach my son how to read time when he was about 2.5. I did take the plastic protective cover off from the top so I can manually move the hands around to teach time. I keep it at my kid's eye level, but our kitten does like to jump up and see if he can eat the second hand every now and then. And so it's a little bit bent, but what can you do? Anyway, moving on, here we have the magnetic chalkboard. This is a DIY and we really love it. Kids love drawing on it, we use it for different activities. And when we're doing unit studies, I use this for chalk drawings, and since it is such a big board, it's really visually captivating and inspires the kids to get into the right headspace. Then we have a big whiteboard. There are 2 main reasons why I chose to go with the bigger size. First, it's a great teaching tool. But the second reason for choosing this big whiteboard is so that I can use it to put up posters. Now, I know a lot of people love to put banners and posters on their walls, but I really don't like to do that. I like the walls to be free from things as much as possible because I don't want it to be overwhelming and distracting. I also feel like having too much on the wall just turns to mind clutter. And that goes for having too many objects in the room as well. The idea is that our brains tend to shut out the things we're used to seeing, and this means they just become like background noise, which largely defeats the point of having them in the first place. Of course, that doesn't mean I don't use posters, but instead of plastering them all over the walls, I magnetize them, which is quite easy to do. And when it's time to pull out a poster, I simply put it up on the whiteboard, and once we are done using it, I just roll it up and put it away in storage. That way they're not hanging around becoming an eyesore. Moving on, this is our magnetic world map. This is something we use a lot. It comes with like 92 magnetic pieces and it's a great interactive way to learn geography. My kids have lots of fun with this and I highly recommend it. And we have had this for many years now and we still haven't lost a single piece, so that's great. So on this wall, this massive bookshelf is like a feature wall in our schoolroom. These two 5x5 shelves are from IKEA. We do have some more bookshelves around the place, but this is where we house most of our books. We do have quite a lot of books, and I guess this is one area where we have had to make a compromise about our minimalism. Since we're homeschooling and use a lot of living books for teaching, we do end up buying quite a lot of books. Here in the middle, out of their reach, I have 4 cubes with doors to keep things that I don't want to be out in the open, and things that are a bit dangerous for the little ones like staplers, scissors and punches and so forth. I always put colored dot stickers on the spines of books so I can categorize them into different subjects. That way everyone can keep a track of where certain books are. So for example, all of our poetry books have purple stickers. This system works really well for us. My kids can easily find the books they need and put them back after they're done. I keep all the board books at the bottom so it's easy for my daughter to grab them. On the bottom right hand corner, I always keep a cube empty for books that I might pick up when I'm out and about. I'm a huge fan of Home Edit, and their philosophy is like, ask yourself, is there room for it in your space before you buy anything? And with that in mind, I try to always give away books that we are no longer reading or interested in, and then I have that extra space instead of hoarding and getting overwhelmed by the amount of books that I'm investing in. Also, now I have gotten into the habit of organizing all of our books in rainbow order. And I gotta say, it makes the colors pop and makes a huge difference to the overall look of the space, and I really love it. Up on the top, I have a whole bunch of yellow files. I keep a lot of different curricula in them because I tend to cut the binding off and put the pages in protective sheets. So I store them in these files. I also keep the toddler learning folders up here so I can easily pull them out if my daughter wants to do something extra. We did have it all stored in black and blue leverage files, and after giving it a bit of thought, we threw them all out and replaced them with these yellow folders. That's something that we have never looked back on because the yellow just brightens the space up. Then at the very top there's a bit of greenery, and we have our hourglass. We call it that because it does actually go for an hour, unlike other so-called hourglasses which usually only go for half an hour. We don't use timers for activities because that's just unnecessary pressure, but we do just use it in the morning when we walk into the schoolroom for a bit of fun, and our kids love watching the sand. Next to it is our Fitzroy stone glass, which is fully worth looking into. We bought this when we did a weather unit like 2 years ago, and we still use it to predict the weather, and it's such a fun thing to do with the kids. The last thing I wanted to mention was the activity shelf. We do a lot of Montessori inspired activities, and they're for both of my kids. It's also especially great for my daughter because my son obviously does school longer than her, so these activities give her something constructive to engage in while my son is finishing up. I forgot to mention earlier, next to the couch we also keep our Spielgaben set. It's such a great educational resource. Both of my kids love playing and learning through the activities. And it's another thing my daughter plays with when my son is doing his schoolwork. And even when we are not doing school, we do spend a lot of time in this room playing and reading. I also like that it's bright and airy throughout the day. So this space works really well for us. And that's our schoolroom space. I hope this video has been helpful, and thanks a bunch for watching.